Opening with the king's pawn controls the center and opens up the light-squared bishop and queen, often leading to sharp games. The perk defense begins with d6, controlling the e5 square and preparing for knight f6. d4 takes full control of the center and opens up the dark square bishop. Knight f6 develops the knight and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. Knight c3 defends the e4 pawn. g6 prepares to fianchetto, the dark squared bishop on g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, supports the d4 pawn, and controls the e5 square. Bishop g7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. Bishop c4 develops the bishop toward the center, attacking black's kingside, and prepares to castle short. This threatens to win a knight through an eventual fork. This allows the opponent to sacrifice a knight for a nice tactic. The knight was sacrificed, a stunning move. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This is an equal trade. Recaptures from a previous move. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This move puts the knight on a safer square. That's fine. This misses an opportunity to capture a free pawn. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A clear recapture. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. This avoids clear danger. The correct move to safety. The clearly correct move for a threatened knight. This activates a piece and simultaneously wins time by attacking a knight. This threatens to eventually win material. This is the strongest option. The game was close to balanced, but now white is worse. This misses an opportunity to develop a piece while also winning a tempo on a knight. This overlooks an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This threatens to capture a knight and win material after the follow-up trades. This threatens to win a pawn by removing a key defender. This stops the opponent from being able to win a pawn by removing a key defender. One more piece joins the action. This threatens to create a protected passed pawn. This misses an opportunity to offer an equal trade of pieces. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a pawn by removing a key defender. This threatens to win a bishop through a fork. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade, a straightforward recapture. This is the only move that works. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. This threatens to win a pawn through a fork. This is an equal trade. A clear recapture. This threatens to tactically win a bishop. This permits the opponent to eventually win a bishop. This wins a bishop. This misses an opportunity to threaten checkmate. Taking that bishop wins material after the follow-up trades are made. This is the only move that works. That was a free pawn. This is the only good move. The clearly correct move for a threatened queen. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. This threatens to tactically win a rook. The correct move to safety. This threatens to win material through a tactic. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. This allows the opponent to set up a blockade. This is the only move that works. One of the best moves. This steps away from the checking bishop. This threatens to activate a rook by getting it to the 7th rank. This threatens to tactically win a pawn. Black was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. There was only one good move there. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This permits the opponent to pin a knight. This misses an opportunity to pin a knight. This misses an opportunity to win a tempo by threatening a rook. This is the only move that works. This avoids clear danger. This moves the rook to safety. This takes an open file, a common method for activating a rook. This evades the check from the rook. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This permits the opponent to eventually win material. This overlooks an opportunity to win material through a tactic. This evades the check from the rook. This misses an opportunity to use a rook to counter a passed pawn. This allows the opponent to eventually win material. This wins material. This move puts the rook on a safer square. This wins a pawn. This evades the check from the rook. This moves the rook to safety. This steps away from the checking rook. This is the only good move. This evades the check from the rook. This is a fair move. A straightforward recapture. That pawn was free for the taking. This places a rook on the 7th rank. Very precise. Right on target. This defends the attacked knight. A solid choice. A very strong play. This activates the king in the endgame by getting it off of the back rank. An active king is critical in the endgame. This is the strongest option. This permits the opponent to force a weak isolated pawn. This overlooks an opportunity to force a weak isolated pawn. Very precise. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This is the only move that works. This is the way to win a pawn. This moves the knight to safety. That was a free pawn. This misses an opportunity to add a defender to a vulnerable pawn. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defender. One of the best moves. This wins a pawn. Right on target. This is the way to win a pawn. The game is still close to equal, but white lost their advantage. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it. This is the strongest option. White was better off, but now their position is winning. This is the only good move. This steps away from the checking rook. There was only one good move there. This moves the bishop to a better location. This misses a better way to move a rook to safety. This misses an opportunity to move a bishop to safety. This overlooks a better way to move a rook to safety. Very precise. Right on target. The clearly correct move for a threatened pawn. That pawn was free for the taking. A solid choice. White still has an advantage, but they no longer have a winning position. That was a free pawn. The clearly correct move for a threatened rook. Black was worse off, but now they are in a losing position. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the rook. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. This pins a knight to the king. Very precise. This overlooks an opportunity to increase a bishop's scope by moving it to a better square. This steps away from the checking rook. Right on target. This evades the check from the rook. A very strong play. This steps away from the checking rook. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the rook. Very precise. This steps away from the checking rook. This move puts the rook on a safer spot. This steps away from the checking rook. That's fine. One of the best moves. This evades the check from the rook. This is the only good move. This steps away from the checking rook. The correct move to safety. The bishop finds a new active square. This steps away from the checking bishop. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This steps away from the checking rook. This moves the bishop to a more active square. This moves the rook to safety. This is a fair move. Right on target. This steps away from the checking rook. This is the way to win a rook. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A clear recapture, pushing a passed pawn. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. A solid choice. This is the strongest option. This moves the bishop to safety, pushing a passed pawn. Very precise. That bishop was free for the taking. A very strong play. Right on target.